Oh, welcome everybody to the Genesis Mindset. So Chucky, Charles Hoskinson has really bunkered down into his hatred for Pulsechain and Richard Heart. And unfortunately, he's probably going to reap what he sows. So I'm sure he doesn't watch my show, but Pulsechain loves you, Chuck. And as your brother, I love you also. So I would like to offer and share with you my experience on these kinds of things. So I'll take a look again at the Atropa and Pump.tires flows and relationships that seem to have cemented, as well as some of the new Atropa ratios to keep an eye on. And finally, if there's time, I'll make time. We're going to have a look at something that not many people are talking about right now, which is the PRC20 copies. So, I mean, obviously we've got PADA. I mean, everybody's talking about this, but what this generally means when people aren't talking about it, when they're not looking, that's the best time to go looking. So I actually do have one or a couple in particular, one that I just found like in the dying seconds here that for a number of reasons, I think it's absolutely epic. And I'm going to be showing another like standard PRC20. So first of all, people love the drama. Before we get into we'll get straight into the drama because we do. I'm human too, but drama's like, it's what sucks about this. Let's read this tweet here. So Shillgates, I went on Spaces to genuinely apologize to Charles and build bridges because he was on there crying about being victimized by Pulsechain. He basically brushed off the apology, said Vert and CZ were unfairly targeted, but wouldn't grant that to Richard Heart. I wouldn't grant that maybe Richard Heart was also targeted unfairly. Then he said, I'm in a cult, and made personal attacks against Richard Heart for no reason. Yeah, he's a piece of poo and deserves every bit of bullying he gets. F Cardano. So Somi also came in there with, we'll just have a listen to this. Everybody's friend. Let's hear what Somi had to say about this. Here we go.
Hey, Shilzy, I just want to let you know, brother, I was having a pretty low energy day, but reading this tweet made me laugh, bro. It was awesome because I'm reading that from my perspective. I'm expecting you guys hold hands, hug. Charles Cuckinson admits he's a cuck. That's what I'm expecting when I first see the words. And then I read it through and he said, he basically brushed off my apology, said I'm in a cult, and then he attacked me. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Fuck Cardans. I love you, bro. That was awesome. Man, it brings a happy tear to my eye. Just saying that. Yeah, fuck you. That's how fighting is. That's Pulsechain, bro. That's Pulsechain, dude. Like, hey, want to build a bridge? No. And we start pulverizing them if they don't want to. Like, come on, bro. We're so undervalued, man. People want this strength. We've had enough of the soy shit. Cardano sucking off Ripple with their like CBDC coin trash. And then you have Ethereum winning over Vitalik, eating way too many bugs, drinking too much soy latte. Come on, bro. We're the strong ones. So congrats, sir. That was awesome. I love you.
I have to say the campaign against soy, I'm very much against. Apparently, there's lots of estrogen in soy, so it's not good for men. It lowers your testosterone. I'm like, oh man, you can't eat anything without there being some sort of like negative side consequence in this day and age. Like, you want to get huge, eat chicken? Yeah, well, they pump that full of drugs. You want to eat soy? Yeah, well, they pump that full of drugs. You want to eat peanut butter? Yeah, well, it's full of vegetable oil. It's like, where can I go to eat good quality food, for God's sake? But anyway, yeah, obviously this is a real pity for Charles because he's playing the victim, but he really bunkered down in his opinion. And the two hardest things for a human to say, or the two hardest like phrases, is I'm sorry and thank you. Like, to genuinely and sincerely say those things, I'm sorry and thank you. Look all over Twitter. No one ever says they're sorry. No one says they're sorry. So for someone to publicly apologize in front of everybody else with your voice, not just with typing, and then to like throw it in their face, that's very... I was quite shocked by that. But at the same time, I'm also not. So look, Charles Hoskinson is an incredible human being. So he's an amazing man. He's created a blockchain. He's not stupid, but he has a lot of pride. He has so much pride. It's like, all of us have pride. All humans have pride. But Chucky, like, bro, you know, it's, there's no point, there's no point doing all of these things like meditating and going on these retreats and not being able to accept an apology. That to me is like, there's too much anger and resentment that you've held on in your mind. So from brother to brother, you got to let that shit go, man, because even scientifically speaking, you are going to attract that energy to you now, because you had that in your mind and you meant it. And so you got the force of Pulsechain on you. So you're the one that actually started. Or actually, I might have said slightly the wrong thing. You had no humility and you got really attacked for it. And the attacks were probably quite vicious, to be perfectly honest. But unfortunately, that's just how it goes. You were the one that started that. So now there's a cause and effect. So to play the victim is, unfortunately, that's not the way to go. So Chucky, I wish people would really understand this. I'm talking about, when we talk about people talking about the law of attraction, there's so much science to suggest the validity of that. Quantum mechanics, it's real. So, but like, to the extent that the very subtleties of your mind, like I see it in my day-to-day life. If I have a slightly negative thought about someone, even though my mouth is saying these words, they can still feel the energy. And particularly because I'm so sensitive to that as well, I can observe like a surfer watching the waves in the ocean. It was like, crap, I did that. I made that person leave because of my thoughts. Even though my mouth said this, that's why I will often say, you can't cover shit with honey, because it might look like honey on the outside. Well, it's probably not, because it's still going to be like, it's covering poo, so honey's see-through. But it's to emphasize that it still stinks, even if you cover it with honey. So it's the same as what we say with our words and what our intention, what our actual mind is. And if you've got all that darkness in your mind, unfortunately, it's going to push people away, and it's going to keep bringing the things. That's not to say that the Pulsechain crew weren't wrong. I tried to engage with you on a very humble level, but like you only responded to the things that were, you could get a rile up, which is, for me, it's like, it's really just like pride versus pride here. So I just want to share this message with you, Chucky, and to everyone really, because Pulsechain loves you. And I liked the idea of this messaging, but I don't believe that humans know anything about true love inside of their minds. I don't think that we really know anything about it. It's really just, it's love based on expectation. It's love based on, you give me something. So true love is acceptance without expecting anything in return. Love is not to be received, but to be given. When true love is given, true love can be received. One must have the true mind to truly love. So I love that, because it's very, very 100% true. And so even if it doesn't make sense, when your mind is clear, it will make 100% sense. So, and yeah, look what's happened. So Shill Gates obviously now is going to be ticked off. He's got 30,000 followers, and now we're starting. He's starting with the troll posts. So I had a great night spending quality time with my autistic son. So there's Shill Gates with his boy, young Chuck. So young Chuck, unfortunately, this is what's going to happen, my friend. So really, yeah, if you like meditation, hey man, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to share with you the method that I do, where you can actually come out of that pride, and you can actually come out of that stuff that's in your mind. You can learn to let go of it, and that you can operate from the energy of the universe rather than the energy of the false self. It's the difference between heaven and earth. It's the difference between heaven and hell. It's the difference between light and dark. So, all right, let's, one of my best friends here, Hex Holmes. So shout out to Hex Holmes, at Hex Holmes. Strongly recommend following him. Does a lot of really good content. And he's trying to build a business around offering services for Hex, architectural services for Hex. So Crazy Chucky, aka Charles, is just mad he doesn't hold the real ADA. So this is the pADA, so the pump-tire. So holding the old Cardano will make you believe weird stuff. Rough maths, 1.3 million bid side injection it's going to take a 500x to flip the old Solana. Oh, excuse me. Since PDI and other coins have already unlocked 10,000x gains pre-alt season, 500x on the real ADA on Pulse is within the realm of possibility. It's actually a lot less than that, just FYI. It depends if we're talking about it in market cap or in, so yeah, if we're talking about it in market cap or if we're talking about it from the perspective of, actually, I think you might be talking about it from the perspective of price. So we now are starting a campaign of flipping the Cardano price. So as a community, we can really come together to buy up the Pump.tires Cardano, the Richard Heart launch Cardano. So 500x on the real ADA on Pulse is within the realm of possibility. It would be amazing to see sub-communities unite to achieve a common goal. Could the timing and narrative of this present itself any better on a silver platter? Believe in something. So yeah, I mean, for me, this is really cool. So if we have a look just very briefly at the Cardano price, so I think when we first started talking about it, it was around about this price, and now compared to the others, compared to the other Pump.tires, I mean, if you have a look at all the other Pump.tires, they've all, you know, they're all on a big dip, but Cardano is really, well, Solana's going very strong as well, actually. So Solana, and there's a Telegram group that's formed around that, and then Cardano. So the Cardano one is 1.67 million. It's getting close to its all-time high. So all it's going to need is a market cap of basically, I think Cardano 72 cents. Yeah, 72 or 73 cents. So it's just going to need a market cap of 730 million. So it's not really outside of the realms of possibility, in my opinion. When you think about the fact that already most got up to like a 200 and like a quarter of a billion market cap. So it's really not outside the realms of possibility. It's a great narrative. It's a great meme. And it would be super cool if we could actually, if we could form around this and just never sell it. Just keep pumping the crap out of it and no one sells it. But that's going to be impossible. There's always going to be sellers. But that would just be so cool if we not only flip them, but we just destroy them in price. He would just really hate that. And as a matter of fact, I think someone's updated that. I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know if this is real or not. But this is cryptocurrency. This is like the meme culture. This is what makes things like so fun and entertaining. It's like, you know, let's lighten up. It's so fun. Like, we don't have to always be so serious all the time. Like, what you buy, and no, those coins are crap, and what are you doing buying that? It's like, chill out. There's enough food on the table for everybody to eat here. Let's just chill out. I would love for something like this to really, for us to get around and like unite the communities around this. I remember the very first time I came out with a message of unity, I targeted the biggest community, which was Tangang, and I had a video, an Atropa video. Well, it started with Atropa, and because I was seeing in Atropa, like, oh, there's this liquidity web, which is like bonding all of Pulsechain, and it's pumping all of Pulsechain. And it's like, wouldn't it be cool if we all started doing something like this? And I did like a little clip, and I went to the Tangang Telegram. I posted that video of Unity, and I got banned straight away. And what's his name? Orange Goo was like, you're a piece of shit. I hate you. I was like, whoa. So uniting people is next to impossible. So it's really, yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but it would be cool if somehow this does turn into something where there is some level of unity, because there is the banner. I don't know if this is real or not. This is a Telegram post. So Charles Hoskinson said, if Richard Hart's meme coin flips the real flourishing layer one, I will quit crypto forever. So I don't want you to quit, Chucky. But yeah, like, it's very, very easy for us to flip it, because we just need to do like 3x on what most has done. So if we have a scenario where all the liquidity, as I showed in my tweet the other day, where the liquidity was flowing from here, so into there, then this one pumps, then this one pumps, then that one, then that one, then that one. It was going in a flow. Now it's decoupled. Now there's communities forming around these things. So these are the interesting things to pay attention to. So now there's a community forming around this idea of Cardano, and there's a community forming around this idea of Solana. So I'm in the Telegram group, and it's actually quite funny, to be perfectly honest. The Telegram group, I think I have it here. I hope I have it here. I don't want to show it just in case I've got a private conversation there. But yeah, there's like a Telegram group with a Solana. It's pretty funny. They got lots of funny memes in there. Yeah, I mean, if our Solana can flip their Solana, that's a lot trickier because what Solana's in the hundreds. But for Cardano to flip, I think that's great. And then there was this Hex. So now there's this whole narrative around Hex that basically the original, one of the original Hex trading groups or something, which apparently Richard Heart is the founder of, but then his name has been changed to like Hex Bitcoin memes or something like this, and he's starting to post in there. And then this just had like a massive little, I mean, it's done like a little 2x from the bottom, so, or 3x from the bottom, because that's 200%. So yeah, there's all these communities that are starting to form around these narratives, so that's really cool. But if the market makers, which are dominating this whole market, start to flow liquidity through the system one by one, then all of these will just pump naturally. But it's cool to see that there are these communities forming. So yeah, Solana is going, Cardano is going, and Hex is really going. So Hex is the only one now to have broken its previous all-time high. And so the other thing that I would look at with things like this is, one, I mean, the communities that are forming around them. Yeah, and yeah, I don't really want to say too much more now, because that's really like taking Moon King's alpha from the subscribers call. So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, just for me, all of these are going to pump. So really, if you think about it from the perspective, what's going to give you the most gains? If you really think about that, what would give you the most gains? So, all right, 6 days, Puffy. What's your theory on this 6 days? And this, so it was 7 days yesterday, obviously. So that Pump.tires, are you talking about that Pump.tires tweet? So apparently there's all these rumors around this Pump.tires Twitter account. So this, it honestly, it sounds exactly like Richard Heart. And honestly, from my perspective, I don't actually even know if the Richard Heart account is Richard Heart. So when ID Block came out and said, "Is Richard Heart dead?" I'm not even sure. I was sympathizing with him. I was like, I'm with your ID Block, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't want to get involved. And then people just crucified him, saying it was cope. But I was like, to be perfectly honest, like, this is not the Richard that I remember, like on Twitter a few years ago. This is a completely different Richard. So it's very plausible that it's AI. And then it's also very plausible that it's like the same kind of AI that's doing the Pump.tires. But on the Pump.tires website, it says that there is no official social media account. So yeah, you take that with a grain of salt, but literally it sounds exactly like Richard. I mean, some of those tweets on the Pump.tires sounds exactly like Richard. So I just want to warn you on that, Puffy. So this 6 days is 7 days. I mean, I don't know what it is. What's your speculation on the 6 and 7 days? So Richard Hart defo owns Pump.tires X account. That pADA I tweet is fire. Yeah, so there was that pADA I tweet. Let's have a look at it, actually. So what's the Pump.tires? Pump, is it Pump.tires? Nice. All right, Pump.tires win. So it's like, it's either someone that's perfectly mimicking Richard Hart, but yeah, I mean, this can be fun to speculating on. See, the Bitcoin Hex meme of the day is a cool idea. So let's start with one of my favorites, Bitcoin Hex. I think people have been having fun with this since now everyone is using Pump.tires. Then there was this one. So this one that Puffy's talking about, this coin seems to be a lot of people's favorite. It would be cool if DAI on Pulsechain was worth $1, like the stablecoin DAI on Ethereum. It could, I mean, it would be cool. I mean, that's so Richard. It could even go, what, Richard Hart wins. So it could even go higher than $1, or maybe it could reach $1 and peg. Is that possible? I have no idea, but it's cool to think about. I'm sure we will find out. So, and excuse me, somewhere in one of these there was this 7 day thing. So this is really delving into the realms of do you like live streams? It's really like someone's really teasing. Someone is really teasing that it's like they're either really pretending and got Richard down pat. So where was this 7 days one, Puffy? There was a 7 days one that I want to read as well. February 6th. Maybe it was this one. Maybe it was this. This coin went up. Nope, not that one. something 7 days. Well, that's the 5th now. So now we're on the 7th. Yeah, I'm not saying it's Richard Heart, just FYI. I'm not saying it's Richard Heart, but it's again, just, you know, for me, it's like, who cares? Like, everyone just needs to lighten up. Like, you know, everyone's so serious. Just have a bit of fun with this, you know, just don't go too heavy. Don't go too hard. Where was the 7 days? Where was the 7 days, Puffy? What's this 7 days about? Where did I see this thing about the 7 days? Day 3. I wonder what day 7 will look like. Here we go. So is this what you're talking about, Puffy, with the 7 days? Recently tweeted about Hex Bitcoin. This one seems to be a lot of you guys' favorites. Day 3. I wonder what day 7 will look like. Cool stuff. I don't know. Oh, the 7 day stake. The 7 day stake. Of course. The 7 day stake. Okay. All right. My mistake. All right. Anyway, what's going on? So I'm well, BP Crypto. Hope you're well too, brother. I'm glad you guys found the zombies funny. What's going on, Fatina? What's going on, Matt? Cheers to you, Duke of Oz. ADA on Pulse is flipping ADA is just what needs to happen. It's totally got up to a 250 million market cap. These tokens have a supply of 1 billion. So for it to get to 73 cents, it only needs to get 730 million market cap. So yeah, it's very possible. Very, very possible. I don't know what spaces that was, actually. Yeah, I was trying to look for it myself. So 300x from now puts Pulse ADA at 50 cents. So yeah, okay, there we go. So yeah, my friend was right. So it's like a 500x to get to the 73 cents. So hey bro, what do you think about the Pump.tire X account? Any opinions? Some say it's fake, some say it's not. I checked the account, and as Pulsechain influencers following it, the Pump website does indicate. I would take it with a grain of salt, Zymus. I mean, I would really take it with a grain of salt. I would rather follow what the blockchain is doing rather than what the Twitter account is doing. But I'm also still like, you know what? I don't even think I'm following the account. I'm just going to follow it for shits and giggles. So yeah, I mean, look, the account that we're following on Pump.tires is not even Richard Heart either, but Richard Heart is talking about it. But the fact that Pump.tires says that there is no official account is concerning. So I think it's in the banner. I wonder if it's changed by now. So obviously this D718 is the supposed Richard Heart meme coin. I mean, we don't know it's Richard Heart, but it's supposedly connected to Richard Heart. So warning, Pump.tires hasn't and will not have official social media accounts. Anyone pretending to be Pump.tires on social media is an imposter. So yeah, there you go. So obviously they're being pretty clear that it's not. So yeah, I wouldn't follow this, but at the same time, other people are, so you could probably capitalize on that information. So, you know, the fact that this just, well, he's tweeting after the fact, but yeah, and really going back on old Richard Heart stuff. So anyway, it's just a bit of fun, but I would definitely take it with a grain of salt. So what's going on, Joseph? Yeah, the Pump.tire said there wasn't. 6 days. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. So I don't think he said 7 days. I think he said week from today. I think it was Thursday tweet, meaning 1 week from Thursday. I could be wrong. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, we should really, yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure, Zymus. So I would take it with a grain of salt, man. So let's make ADA great again. So honestly, Matt and Barley, I don't know, but what I do know is the 7 day stake. So the first time the OA, this is not the OA, this is the sacrifice wallet. And the first time, actually, I keep getting it confused. Was it the OA or the sacrifice wallet? I keep getting it confused, but whatever. It's the same. It's probably the same entity. So the only time the OA ever staked before was just before Big Payday. So that protected the price of Big Payday. And from that moment, the Hex chart just went insane. It went insane. So actually, I think, oops. I wonder if I've got the hex chart here. I'll just have a quick look. But yeah, basically from that moment on, hex went, it was just all up from there. So prior to that, it was like up and down, up and down, up and down. And then from that moment, it was just like, okay, we're in a bull market. So damn, I need to get the hex chart up here. So yeah, it's like kind of hard to find the actual hex chart. So but anyway, yeah, it was from the big payday. It was all just upside. So it could be like people are saying, oh, it's a signal from the OA that about to start pumping, just like another magic carpet ride. So it could mean that. It could mean that he wants to reduce the inflation or like, yeah, dilute the supply to the people that are dumping it, because the OA has never sold a single token. So obviously that's going to be less sell pressure on the market and less tokens on the market. So it's deflating the supply actually. So it's actually deflating it. So I could be sending a message. So yeah, I mean, there's always two ways to look at everything that's being said. You can look at it like literally and like, okay, well, some people think it's all crackpot stuff, and some people are really like, you know, it's like this Illuminati kind of stuff where it's like, oh, they're sending all these secret messages across the blockchain. So it really depends how you want to look at it. So the Richard Heart account says he won't post on X yet. He does constantly. Exactly, Puffy X. Exactly. That's a great point, actually. So yeah, that's a really, really, really good point. So it could be deliberately like supposed to confuse. So Richard only communicates in person. He doesn't use Twitter, Telegram, social media, emails, messages, YouTube, newspaper, magazines, mail, TV, or radio. Humble. So he doesn't use Twitter. So unless he's like communicating these messages to somebody else, or unless it's some sort of like legal thing to prevent any damage, but I don't know. So the Pump.tires account has comments disabled like Richard Heart. The tweets are written like Richard Heart. The account was registered in May 2023 when Pulsechain launched. I didn't know that it was launched at that time. But okay, so the thing is, I didn't know that it was so June 2021. So that wasn't when Pulsechain launched, was it? So yeah. Where did you get that information about the May? The account was registered in May. So maybe it was created in June and then registered, like as in like the official thing. Could also have been like you know, you can easily change the name. Look, I don't know. But I'm a man of faith. So if I'm just going to follow this, and if I see enough of these things coming to fruition, even though it says it's not Richard Heart, I'm going to follow it as though it is, based on the way that the information is aligning with the things that are happening on the blockchain. Because yeah, it could just be like a direct, deliberate obfuscation. So did you see B-Root say he controls Richard's X account? What? I didn't see that, Matt. Puffy, I do not see any tweet above. Maybe if you send me the tweet in DMs on what's this called? Twitter, then I'll open it up. So Ocarante, yeah, there's this Cardano drama with Shill Gates apologized, and basically, yeah, Chucky continued to bunker down. So I'm offering my perspective to Chucky. He probably won't listen to it, but I'm offering my perspective anyway for the good of the community. So because people love to fight and everybody loves the drama, but I love coexistence. So B-Roots posted about probably just getting attention to his post. Probably. And then also, have you guys seen the people are speculating that B-Roots is Richard Hart's friend in Richard Hart's profile pic. One of them is B-Roots. I have this one. I have a feeling something really cool will happen about a week from now. Life's good and I'm excited. You should be too. It sounds exactly like Richard Hart. It does sound exactly like Richard Hart. And look at that, 11.1k views. Oh, goodness me. All right. Yeah, goodness me. So good stuff. Yeah, there we go. Interesting. So it sounds exactly like Richard Hart. And that's a great point. That's a really great point. So although the Pump.tires is using the same language as Richard Hart, it's still speculative. That's how imitation works. But I really hope it's Richard Hart. Exactly, Zymus. That's what I'm saying. Take it with a grain of salt because, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Put it that way. That's all I would say. I don't think it's wise to treat it as it's Richard Hart, but I think it's good to keep an open mind, and because this whole blockchain is running on like speculations and like crackpot theories, and like it's like this beautiful, awesome, fun game of discovery and mystery, this whole blockchain. So yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. So anyway, let's continue to move on. So that's the Cardano stuff. So yep, let's flip Cardano. And I mean, if I could say as a community, let's do this, but people are still going to take their profits on the way. But it would be cool if we flip it and then just smash it. I mean, it would be very, very easy, I think, once you start getting a community behind it. So, all right. Also with the Pump.tires, I mean, this is flowing into my thesis of Pulsechain continuing to expand out into the world. So this has 207,000 followers, and they did this tweet. Congratulations to the Pump.tires team at CDN77com. I don't know why there, but CC Zach at World Liberty Finance. So they CC'd someone there. So this Richard Hart. So they've tweeted Richard Hart and they've congratulated the Pump.tires team. So I don't really know what this is, but yeah, they've quoted Richard Hart, 200,000k followers. So these are the bits of pieces that slowly add to build up. It's not a direct line. It's a gradual growing process. So yeah, I agree. So it's Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano. So I started that whole bit. Was that you, Papa Shred? I circled the kid in the picture and posted it. He then screenshotted that and made his own post, and it blew up from there. Pretty funny. Hey, Papa Shred. That's awesome. Good on you, bro. That is sick. That's another cool meme. So this is what makes crypto fun. It makes it fun. So okay, so I just again want to show the lockstead between, I'll go into some of these later, but I want to show the lockstead between, I will take it off Hakanashi. I'm going to put Hakanashi in a minute. Ah, damn. Well, I mean, this was red. And again, it was like green, green, red, green, green. This was red, red, green, red, red. But now it's gone green again. Oh, look at this. 1, 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 1. 11, 11. And we just had this 11.1. Oh, if you're into your angel numbers, if you're into angels, oh my goodness. Yeah, take that as you will. So prior to doing this stream, this was, again, I just want to show the strength of the Atropa ecosystem. And at the minute, the inverse correlation is very, very powerful. And it just shows that the Atropa crew is dominating the chain. We're basically the whales in Atropa are controlling the liquidity flows of Pump Fund. They're controlling the liquidity flows around the blockchain, it seems, for the most part. So for me, that gives me a lot of confidence in the Atropa ecosystem, and really goes back to the very, very core original ideas that the Atropa ecosystem is pumping Pulsechain. They were some of my first videos where this channel really started to explode and grow. So, okay, so let's now start going into, again, the Atropa ecosystem. So this, I wanted to show just a few different things. So things that I've never really done before, just exploring it in different ways. So I just, again, want to show the relationship that I'm thinking might eventually emerge. Always just kind of showing similar information, but in slightly different ways. So 31st of May, let's get a candle here. So I'll cut and paste this into here. So then I'll make this, let's make it blue. So it was, here we go. It was like this. So 31st here. Let's just exact. I mean, okay, so you can clearly see it here. There's an inverse relationship. Pulsechain was dumping. Atropa was pumping. This is the top. This is the bottom. Then there was a reverse. They come and touch each other. This starts pumping. This starts dumping. So on and so forth. Inverse. And then this was pumping a lot. And then this also started to pump. And then this is where they started to become lockstead. But if we overlay them here, you can really see the liquidity bonding has become like, for me, the Atropa ecosystem is like the rocket fuel that's going to support all the pumps all across Pulsechain, all that liquidity backing. It's like a what is it? A derivatives market. It's like a derivatives market. So there's all this liquidity in the background that basically is like more liquidity than actual liquidity, just like the global financial system. But it can be used to really stretch and bubble out liquidity in all these other assets. So just look at this. Look at how it's really bonded. You can see now the movements are more or less, they're very much in sync. Very much in sync. It's not exact, but they're very, very much in sync. They were inverse. Now they're very much in sync. You can see from around this point, they became in sync. So it was almost like all this Pulsechain liquidity was used to now lock it into the Atropa ecosystem. So let's get this here. So it was probably around here where, I mean, look how much Pulsechain dumped, and then look how much Atropa pumped, and then it kept dumping, and then it was like solidifying, bonding, and this was like some sort of where it became really cemented in bonding, and now they're really moving like very, very much aligned. So I just wanted to show that something different, showing the same kind of message to maybe different eyes, showing it in a different way to really get how clear the bonding is. And yeah. And then so not really much to show here. Obviously, what I wanted to start to do now as well, I wanted to start to look at, I haven't done this yet. It just occurred to me as I was setting this stream up, but I might do it for another stream. I wanted to start looking at, that's what's so good about this website. So I put the Atropa here, and then you can see this. I've ordered it in the age of the pool. So it'll normally show it in liquidity, but it looks like it's lagging a lot. Nothing's working. So normally it will, don't dial in now. All right, so you can see pADA is the biggest liquidity pool, so it'll normally order in the liquidity, but I wanted to see it in pool age. And the reason why I wanted to see it in pool age is because I want to now start to explore the ecosystem from Maria's eyeballs. What was Maria doing at the start? So the very first liquidity pool that he did on May the 29th was with PDI, then with PUSDC, and then with PUSDT. So all on the same day. And you can see he has a hell of a lot less USDT, but a hell of a lot of the other still, wow, like half a billion Atropa. Sorry, yeah, half a billion Atropa and 2.9 billion pADAs in that pool. And then, so what was some of the other things that he did? So Doge, and this is what gave me this idea. Just FYI, Doge, Zen, WETH, Pulse, USDC, and Milady. This doesn't necessarily mean that Maria was the one who made the pool with Milady. There's only 8,000 in liquidity, but the fact that it was made on the same day, this gave me an idea for a PRC20 idea. Also, because Moon King is shilling it, and also because we've started to see, what's his name, Vitalik, start tweeting about Milady. So it's like Milady's going to possibly come back to life as a meme on Ethereum. So that really made me think, whoa, this could be a cheeky little play here. When I saw this, I was like, wow. And so I quickly added it to my chart. So what I wanted to do in a future episode is really look at the liquidity pools from his creation point. So all of these, I mean, I don't even know what half of these are, like Fine, PK, TTN, CB, ARA. I don't know what this stuff is. Maybe these are just like random, like completely random, whatchamacallits, PRC20's, and then Hex, Down, TSFI, and then Rioting, Teddy Bear, PulseX. Yeah, so I want to actually have a look at how the relationship of those liquidity pools to each other now. So a year and a half on, or like a year and 3/4 on almost. So I just added just a few that I'm going to start keeping an eye on. So obviously this, because I started to look at Down and Atropa only just recently, but this helped me see the inverse relationship of Down and Atropa, and that it's a hedge against Atropa. And so when we get to the bear market, or what could be a bear market, as a self-stabilizing, remember, I'm not looking at the Atropa ecosystem as, oh, I only hold Atropa and that's the one that I want to pump. I'm looking at the whole ecosystem. So I'm looking at this being the yin to that being the yang. And so, yeah, they're in harmony with each other, and it's going to keep the liquidity in the system. So as Atropa dumps in the bear market, Down is going to pump in the bear market. So your opportunities, like, boy, oh boy, that could be like a hell of a play. That could be such a good play. Like, it's almost like I'm shooting myself in the foot by sharing that. That could be like a mega ridiculous, insane alpha play. That could be just one of the most insane alpha plays ever. Same thing is happening with TSFI as it is with Down. You would have to then look deeper, because also it could pump the crap out of Down, but only very short, because Maria would hold so much of the supply of Down, and then he might just dump everybody pumping into it. So you'd also have to be careful with that compared to, say, TSFI. So you'd have to keep these things in mind. And just now, I just thought, okay, Legal and Down is like another big liquidity pool, 4.7 million in the market cap. I just wanted to see the relationship here. So yeah, it's quite interesting that Legal is going down against Down. So yeah, this is, I mean, if I invert these, because there's significance to all of these. There's significance to all of these. So I'm hoping as I study the liquidity pools, that maybe I'll get more clues as to what's actually happening with the Atropa ecosystem. So this is what I'm talking about with the Atropa ecosystem. I mean, this here is clear as day. The relationship of tokens that go up and down against each other. So here I've paired Down first. So here, Down is stronger against Legal. It's slowly growing against Legal. But against Atropa, it's slowly going down against Atropa. So there's, typically, like, if this was Ethereum, then it would just be like, well, it's just going up, and it's going to go up against all the charts because it's got the most strength. But the way that these are set up with the ratios and the liquidity pools, it's deliberately designed that it's supposed to go down against this, but it's supposed to go up against this. So these fascinating interplays between the Atropa ecosystem also provides like endless arbitrage, which is really just like feeding the whole ecosystem. So that's why liquidity providers is like that might also be like a mega play at the end instead of I mean at the end if you could, there's a couple of ways of playing it. You could sell all your tokens into stable coins. You could chuck it all into liquidity at the very top, and then just everybody will dump into your liquidity pool. There's so many interesting ways to play this. So what else have I got here? So yeah, I just started to now look at some more like key ratios just to see what's actually been happening, what's been going on. So yeah, I nothing really too groundbreaking to share there, but something that I will be keeping in more of an eye on. So now I want to go to this compare the pair and start talking about the PRC20's because, okay, yeah, dump Pump.tires has got all the attention at the minute. And so, I mean, I learn a lot from the Moon King, and I'm hesitant to say some of these things because I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, does he say that? I'm pretty sure he says this on his videos all the time, but he will often go where people aren't looking. That's how he became like a SHIB millionaire, because he stayed in it and he was reading the narrative and it just went crazy when nobody else was interested in it. It just transformed his portfolio. So now he developed the idea that you want to go to where nobody else is talking about a token. And so the PRC20 is now the world's largest free airdrop. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. But one thing that's very, very interesting, I didn't even see this. I didn't see this until I started setting up the chart. This is the beauty of like the liquidity bonding. I mean, look at these charts. Look at these charts, how similar they look. So let's just do the same. So from the 16th of May, damn it, I'll do it from August. So, actually, let's do this one here. This Atropa one here. Oh no, that's die and die. Yeah, let's just do this one here. Let's get that. I just want to see the relationship because everything is getting dragged up together. So this is to the USD. So maybe it's not 100% relevant because we really need to see it against Pulsechain. Well, actually, let's put it against Pulsechain and let's see if the charts look wildly different. Kind of looks similar. So put that on log. Put this on log, and then I want to get that old mate, the bar forms. So we'll go here to here. So what was that? The 11th of August. So what did we have? So the 11th of August. This is just so clear, isn't it? The way that the relationship between these tokens all works. And so it's like, I don't know. The idea is not to always chase the gains. The idea is to like try and preempt the gains. So this is Mana. This has got 9.7 million in liquidity. In market cap rather. But look at how closely it's bonded to the Atropa chart, because this would have a liquidity web with Atropa token. So it's very closely bonded to the Atropa ecosystem. So it doesn't even need buyers. It'll just naturally go up through arbitrage. That's the beauty of these things. That's why I keep emphasizing, like, you can be the custodian of these tokens. You, in the same way that now we've got this meme around Cardano. This just formed on like a narrative that from something like this, and then this little war that's been going on with Cardano. So it's a really clever play and a meme, and like this cult of Pulsechain will hopefully get behind it. And you can end up doing something similar with these. You would have to choose what they are. And this is why I literally, honestly, I had these here And then before I started setting it up, I wanted to just talk about this idea. And then I saw Milady here. I was like, holy shit, Milady. And actually, you know what? Let's actually see who created this liquidity pool. I want to see if it was Maria. Let's actually investigate that. So when I saw that, I was like, holy crap, I have to, because I wanted to share. I'm not going to share all the PRC20s because they're all the same. So just pick one and go with it. And then you can build an ecosystem around it by just providing liquidity, marketing it, all those kinds of things, or just dominating the supply and trying to buy up all the supply. There's a lot of things to it. I have done a specific episode on that, which I would recommend going to check out about the kinds of things that I would do. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be easy, but let's have a look-see here. All right, so Pulse XLP. I needed to click the other one. Only one holder? Ah, damn it. Well. This won't be too hard to see because so it was Maria. Is that Maria's old wallet? It's 3414. Is that Maria's old wallet? I'm pretty sure that's Maria's old. I mean, it's 414, but I don't know what all the previous numbers were. I mean, I can confirm this, but I need to just... Holy shit. All right, so just give me a second on this. Because I just want to bring up my Telegram and just make sure that I'm not in any private chatteroonies. So I'm going to bring up the Atropa. Oh, actually, cool. All right, I'm in a cool chat, actually, so I'm going to share this. So this is the Solana. This is the Solana one. Where is it? I mean, there's just some funny stuff here. They don't know I'm better than the real Solana. I'm pretty sure that's Ansem. This one here, Richard Heart with Ansem and the boys. Cheerios. Yeah, they're just funny. Like someone's taken this community and just started making memes on it. I liked this one. I don't know who these must be like Solana dude. So this is exactly what you want to see. This is exactly what you want to see. And in this, there's 461 members. That's pretty good. That's pretty good already. So I was like, that's a cool one. And already it's starting to get some price action. But I just want to confirm that wallet is Maria. It doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I don't know, for like the law, the culture. Here we go. The Atropa Dev 414. Yeah, it is. It is 7F3414. So Maria was the one that did this with Milady. Wow. Wow. So Milady then is like an insanely good opportunity because look at the ratio of Milady to Pulsechain and the ratio to Atropa. It has only a market cap of less than $1 million. Less than $1 million. And I wouldn't mind actually investigating this from the perspective of like liquidity pools and whatnot. So this is a forked PRC20. So it's got Vitalik now tweeting about Milady. It has the law of 414. It has B Roots talking about it. So B Roots was shilling this. So this, but he's quiet on this at the moment. And it's had, it's had a 90% dip. So those are the things that you want to be getting into, in my opinion, before he starts talking about it again. Because as soon as Moon King starts talking about it, like this is when Moon King started talking about it. And what did it do? What's that? It's a big number. That's 1,962x. So I don't know exactly what date, but it was around about towards the end of the year where he started talking about it. So it's got a lot of upside potential. A lot of upside potential. So let's have a look at this. Now I want to have a look at this from the perspective of liquidity. But of course, the initial thing is going to be like, oh, you know, it's dead, it's dumped. I mean, especially if you don't look at it on log, you might, if you look at it like this, you're going to be like, oh, what a horrible chart, it's dead. But that's how these games work. That's how this meme game works. Like these are the charts that the Moon King loves. He loves these kinds of charts. Down 90%. Wow. I'll just go through some of these comments while this loads. So, I mean, it's pretty goated call, Papa Shred, with the Moon King. It's funny. It's like reading from the stars, or like trying to understand the Bible. It is like that. It is like that, bro. It's like there's like a sector of Pulsechain that operates on like faith and, you know, belief, and there's a sector of Pulsechain. It's like science versus religion. We've got this whole dynamic playing out on Pulsechain. You know what the best perspective is? The one that unites both perspectives. So you take the science perspective and then you take the religious perspective. That's where you're operating from heart and mind. If you're just operating from mind, which is just science, you're missing out. If you're just operating on heart and you just follow all of these things, then you can get hurt really badly because people will take advantage. So, I mean, if that ends up being a fake Richard Heart Pump.tires, then so what do we got here? So 43,000 in liquidity, 21 trillion tokens. How many tokens does this actually have? Totally. Bro, that's insane. That's absolutely insane. So let's have a cheeky little look. I love the Atropa ecosystem as well, Speaker Freaker. It's like it's just continuously growing. So 420, 426,900,000, 2,000 holders. Okay, 2,000 holders. So that's pretty good. It's a lot for a PRC20, but it's pretty good. There's two ways to look at it. You can look at it like, well, that's a lot of people that are going to be selling on you. Or you can look at it like, well, that's a big community that's going to buy back into it if it starts pumping, because people will chase the gains, because that's just how we are. So holders, just want to check, like, has anyone got gigantic supplies? Coffee time, sit back and listen. Thanks, brother. I'm glad that you enjoy this, Speaker Freaker. Just wondering, do you think most is staying for the long run? I do believe most is staying for the long run, 9. It is, like, if Richard Heart is behind it, it's a meme about him. Richard Heart is in it for the glory. He would, of course, want to make a meme about him for the glory, and at the same time, just give like an FU to everybody who ever doubted him, because he's the most wanted. Interpol was going after him. The SEC was going after him. I do believe it is here to stay. So, what kind of supply? Ooh-wee. I'm jealous of that person's holdings. Look at that. 33. Oh, man. Can you send that to me, bruh? Wow. What a sweet amount of supply. So, but that's 7.9%, 7.13%. These people own a lot. I wonder if Maria's wallet's up here. Maybe. Maybe if I just do, I'm pretty sure he transferred all his tokens, but Yeah, well, there you go. I don't see a 501 or a. But anyway, yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I don't see a 501 or a 414. But anyway, I don't know. I think that's a cool one because that was one that kind of came out of when I was getting this ready, like 10 minutes just before I was getting this ready, because I like to get all it lined up and I like to do it in like a nice flow. Anyway, I'll start rounding this up. So this is a copy of his tweet, but of course he's just getting eyes on Pulsechain. So I'm not sure what that was in relation to. That was at 10:20. I can't remember what I was talking about then. Sorry, man. Live discovery. Yes, exactly, Jsu. So, Mikey, what's going on, Mikey? Now that you're talking about it, he won't. But then again, he does sell on his subscribers' head, so maybe he will. Now that I'm talking, well, maybe. I mean, are you saying? Oh, so Moon King. Now that you're talking about it, he won't. Maybe. You might be right. So here's the real alpha. Dump whatever Richard Heart tweets in the community routes into. Swap the current hype for things that lost liquidity to the current hype. Hex was an example yesterday. You're exactly right, Jsu. You're exactly right. So, actually, even from the perspective of dumping whatever he tweets. Okay. So if you're in most, for example, if you're in most and he's tweeting about it, then dump it and then rotate it back into like Atropa and Pt I. Play the liquidity rotation game the opposite of the crowd. I like that thinking. I like that thinking a lot, actually. Because, well, I mean, the hard thing about it is, from memory, Richard started tweeting about it. But then Pump.tires, so February 4, like the dump ended up being for most, maybe what was the date of the dump for most? Let's have a look if this level of analysis is because I think that's a brilliant idea, but when I want to think about applying that idea, I want to apply it like a robot. So as soon as he tweets about it, sell. Or is it after like 3 tweets, then you sell? Is it after 2 tweets, then you sell? Because if it's after the first one, and that's what actually makes it pump, so the 4th of February. So when did he start tweeting about Pump.tires? So, well, I mean, he started tweeting about Pump.tires before the 4th of Feb. So 6th, 5th, 4th. So because I'm pretty sure he was posting about. Well, this was most. So this was February 3 when he showed the most chart on February 3. But I'm pretty sure he showed it before that too, right? So he showed it. No, that's pump. Okay, so that's pump there. So this is when it all started to take off. So that was February 2. That was when it started to take off. So February 2. Okay, yep, that's when it started to take off, when he posted about it. So February 2. Then nothing. Click, yeah, nothing. Then most on February 3. So that was 1 day of pump. And then again, this is most. That's February 3. February 4. This is also most, February 4. So that, hang on, so that's 1 tweet. Is this most here? 2 tweets? 3 tweets of most on February 4. No more charts. Oh. 4th tweet. And what day was that? Day 3, February 4, which was the top. So 4 tweets. So, yeah, I mean, if you dumped it straight away, then you wouldn't have gotten any of those gains. But if you dumped it on his 4th tweet, which was day 3, that's when it dumped. So, Yeah, interesting. I'm definitely going to be like monitoring that as an indicator. Milady, only 420 market cap at the minute. Oh my gosh. But so before we had 1111, if you so it's 440 now. Oh, don't buy it. Go back to 420 because the supply is 420 trillion, I think. That would have been a nice little another nice little cheeky. Got to study it to know it. Study is both heart and mind, like you say. Yeah, for sure, man. Assets will quickly normalize and reach equilibrium after the initial hype and momentum. I believe the same. So I think at the minute there's like an inverse relationship, but just like all of these, I mean, here it's very much aligned with the Atropa ecosystem from very quickly. And I do think it's going to get that way with the Pump.tires. And so that's also going to help you predict things as well. But yeah, once they're really aligned, your window of opportunity disappears. The inverse relationship is where the opportunity is at. Correct. Hexus, exactly. So anything that's bonded to the Atropa ecosystem is pretty much going to move up with it. So, but these aren't Atropa tokens, but still, this is why the core thesis at the very start of this channel that Atropa is pumping Pulsechain. I was talking about the chart, but I was also talking about the whole of Pulsechain. But I didn't explicitly say the whole of Pulsechain because at that time I was very sensitive to not wanting to, I wanted to build a following. So if I wanted to build a following, I had to actually appeal to people who are really into Pulsechain because that's what everybody was into. No, you're in the minority if you liked anything outside of the four tickers, the 4 Richard Heart tickers. So I always try to frame things from a perspective of okay, this is actually going to help Pulsechain. That's where I came at it from. But now it's boy, is it helping Pulsechain? Boy, is it helping the whole blockchain? So BTC casually breaking out on low time frames. Is it now? The old Bitcoin, the bitty dicks, lower time frames. Yeah, it's hovering around the 100Ks. Again, I don't really look at lower time frames to be perfectly honest with you. So casually breaking out, you say? Silly computer. Do you still play around with dysnomia, creating some more loud tokens or doing something else? Not really. So I've got my I did a little bit. I basically put all my tokens, my coexistent Steven token. I put a pause on it for the minute. And I put all the tokens in liquidity. So yeah. I do want to get back into that. But at the minute, yeah, since what happened with Zach, I've just been kind of chilling on it. So same to you, Alex. Have a great day. And thanks, man. Hit the like and subscribe. You got to be influencer to do so. I'm not sure what that was about, but yeah. I'm not an influencer, just FYI. Did you just make Milady start to pump? I hope not. I really hope not. I mean, what if you look at it on the... Well, okay, there you go. It had a tiny little cheeky pump. So, oh man, 470. So maybe the market cap. How good was it actually 420? Oh, it was close enough to 420. Probably. Oh, you know what? I'm pretty sure because I remember looking at it, and I'm pretty sure I was I wonder what the market cap is. This actually worth talking about as an opportunity. I'm pretty sure the market cap was 440, 414. I'm pretty sure it was 4. Okay, hang on a minute. Let's really confirm this. Let's take it off Hike and Archie. Yeah. When did I? So what? It's 10:15. So It was. I'm pretty sure it was like 4. Maybe it was close enough. We'll take that. We'll take that as another L, another synchronistic, another W rather, synchronistic W. It's tricky long term. My recent example is what JSU is difficult to do unless you're a computer expert and have sniper bots. How can you buy and sell the moment he tweets about it? Lovely idea, but hard to implement. So Zymus, I don't think it's like necessarily about at that second, but it's really just like using it as a top indicator that now's probably a good time to start selling. So I do like that idea, but I don't think, I mean, based on just that analysis there, it doesn't look like doing it straight away is the play. You might have to wait for like a few tweets possibly. So, hey, Stephen, don't know if you already have covered this, but PADA spiked to 30 cents again on Coin Gecko. You mean Gecko Terminal? I did hear about this. Let's just have a look at this, because if it spiked, we should be able to see it in this chart, because this should be the PADA chart. Yep. But I just know that last time I started looking at these on Gecko Terminal, when that happened, you could see it, and then it wasn't showing anymore. So I don't really know. Maybe it's another. I don't really know. Maybe it's another cheeky little signal to the market, like the other one, the 60 cent. I think it went up to 60 cents. And people were saying, oh, that means it's going to peg by tomorrow. I don't know. But Maria was saying that it's like a... What did he say? It's like signaling to the market that it can be done. Bridging cost only just over $1, just bridge. Nice. So it's nice and cheap at the minute. So regarding the Gecko glitch, Maria previously... Oh, yeah, there we go. System operators trying to inform the public of the game plan. So, yeah, it could just be as simple as that, which is epic, to be honest. So I believe Atropa Inc., G-Baby, Teddy Bear, Pt I, PulseX, other foundation. If you have these, you're on solid grounds. Yeah, I think that's a good play. I also think if you can find things that are like inversely related, that's also a really good play. So ADA looks ready to make Charles quit crypto. So I think we're going to flip him. Like, we can very, very easily do it. Come on. It was exactly 420 at nice. Okay, so at some particular point, it was exactly at 420. I know that when I started the stream, yes, he looked far out. Okay, so these pumps here, but I know that when I started the stream, it was at like 414, because I remember when I set it up, and now obviously it's pumped. So when you looked at it, it must have been 420. So there's another cheeky little synchronicity. We'll just take all the synchronicities we can get. So yeah, it seems that way. It seems that way. It never used to be that way, but it seems like that's what happens now. So, man, well, yeah, I mean, it's not much of a pump, to be perfectly honest, but you know, when you put it into the scheme of things. But anyway, people bought, so I hope it does well for you guys and girls. Oh, so as soon as I mentioned it was 420. Okay, all right. So when I mentioned it, it was 420. So that's an epic synchronicity. When I mentioned it on the stream, it was 420. Before I started, when I was setting it up, I think it was 414. But it could have been 420. Either way, it's epic. So why can't I find PADA and Dex Screener? Only the glitched one with Atropa as the ticker. Can someone link the one that says PADA? Why can't I find PADA and Dex Screener? Only the glitch one. So it's the D10F, I think it is. Boy, I mean, yeah. So this is Dex Screener. I mean, sorry, Gecko Terminal. This is what it does. So it just really kind of like wigs out whenever these things happen. So Yeah, why can't I find PADA on Deck Screener? Only the glitch one. If you just type like die and die, you should be able to find it. So, for example, because it's the same, the PADA, the forked one, is the same contract as the Ethereum die. So, yeah, you could. There's a number of different ways that you could look that up. So, you could just type die and die. You could go to PulseX and copy and paste the die. So yeah, if you type die, it's like you can see it straight here. So okay, here's what I'm trying to say. Look at the hex price yesterday when Richard Heart staked hex. It's since normalized back to its fair value. Now look at the most chart shortly after he staked. Most tanked and quickly recovered. This is an example. Rotate some of your hex into most at that time, then rotate back as the two assets normalize after the dust settles. Yeah, okay. I mean, I definitely see what you're saying, and I think that there's a lot of validity to what you're saying in this ecosystem. And if there, what I'm trying to say, if there is an asset that pumps in this ecosystem and people other assets dump for it very quickly, the two asset prices will normalize. Yeah, definitely. I definitely see that. And especially because he's been tweeting about both of them recently. So that's a good piece of information. I like it. So I made money on Milady, but left half my coins and they are down like 6x. I mean, even Milady, man, I had some sweet positions. I had some sweet positions with my Lao token, but I nuked the whole wallet. It was just getting too big. So I had to do like incognito. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. So I feel like there's some pretty good information for people there. So thanks everyone for joining. Thanks for interacting with the stream, commenting, liking. Please share it out. Everybody in Australia, it's the weekend tomorrow. So if you're in Australia, have a good weekend tomorrow. And everybody else, enjoy your Friday.